What's up, you guys? I just have a quick message from my heart to yours. This is especially for people who might, excuse me, identify as like a recovering people pleaser, recovering perfectionist, recovering codependent, all these lovely labels that are out there, right? It's a message about self-love, what that really means, because this morning I had a complete sobbing breakdown when thinking about it, and I actually hit record because I wanted to talk out loud, and I thought, well, I doubt I'll ever post this because you can hardly understand the words coming out of my mouth, but for my own healing I wanted to have it to look back on. But the biggest thing that was coming up for me as like a frustration or a deeper understanding is that if you grew up, with your primary caregivers, and whether they're great people or not, if your experience, if your perception, if your feeling, if your core belief somewhere in there was that you had to perform, achieve, make them proud in order to receive love, right? Even if that wasn't their intention, that's something that has to be addressed in this journey, because it's gonna show up over and over. For me, it has definitely showed up. It showed up in relationships. It showed up in work situations, trying to please the boss. It definitely showed up in school, wanting to be, teacher's pet, or get favor with the people I perceived I wanted approval from, right? So it was definitely always an external thing. And it can be really frustrating if you are trying to work on your healing journey and you hear all these messages about, well, you have to love yourself before, anybody else can really love you, or before you can love anybody else properly. And what comes up for me a lot is like, what does that look like? Like, if you've done something for so long, I'm 45 years old, so, I guess what I'm saying is, if you didn't have an example of that from your primary caregiver, or that you haven't had that in relationships, it can be difficult to know what that means or what that looks like, and it can feel discouraging, it can feel hopeless. It can feel, I was like letting all those emotions come up this morning. And by the way, after a purge like that, even though it sucks in the moment, I was a freaking mess, and I had to get to the house that I was cleaning today and all that stuff. Luckily the homeowner wasn't there, but afterwards, when I was cleaning the house, I just felt so peaceful. It was like a lot of that stuff that's been building, again, because it comes up periodically, and I think that I've got it, healed or whatever, and it comes up again. And I think, I don't know, because it's great that so many people are talking about self-love and there's all this stuff, but I just feel like there can be not a danger, there can be an additional hurt involved if you are somebody who really has never been shown an example, never received love in a way that wasn't based on what you could do for the other person or give to the other person or whatever. So, and in that sense, I'm talking about specifically romantic love, because, I've been blessed with wonderful friends throughout my life and that sort of thing. So I don't even know what I'm saying here, other than I see you, I feel you, you're not alone. It's a struggle. It's, it's an ongoing process. But I feel like I hadn't acknowledged to myself until this morning, like how angry I was too at that message of just like, you can't have or expect like a healthy relationship until you fully love yourself. First of all, there's no meter, so who says when you fully love yourself besides you, you know? And so if you think you do and you go into a relationship and your old shit comes up and whatever, then, you know, if you have a partner who wants to work with you with that and not like take advantage of that, then that's amazing. And if not, then you have to love yourself enough to walk away, you know? And that's a lesson in and of itself. And that does show that you have grown on your self-love journey, in my opinion. The other part that was coming up for me this morning, so this one out there is for my single parents, especially single moms who discover or start to learn about their mother wound after they've become a mother. So for me, when I got divorced in 2017, my kids were 4 and 7, and it was like a lifetime of sort of like relational issues and all that bubbled up to the surface to be healed and looked at, and a big glaring mother wound. So while trying to be a mother and nurture my children and do the best that I can for them and love them and do the things that, you know, I wish had been done with me as far as like physical affection and words like saying I love you. In our house, it was like written in birthday cards and Christmas. It's not like I didn't know my parents loved me, but there was a need that was unfulfilled in me, which was to hear I love you, not just like after a sports game when I'd done really well, or not just after a straight A report card or after some scholarship or accomplishment or something like that, you know? So trying to parent children while trying to reparent yourself is excruciatingly hard at times. It just is. So I'm sending extra big love. I'm gonna burst it out from my heart to yours if you are on that walk right now, because, you know, my kids are older now. Things are a lot smoother and easier in our lives, but there was a few years there where we were moving a lot. You know, I was just going through it and still trying to parent in the best way I could, and I felt I found it very hard to be loving towards myself at that time, because one, I was freaking exhausted, and two, again, I didn't, and I still don't fully, I don't know if I'll ever fully know like exactly what that means. I'm also somebody that learns very relationally, so a lot of my biggest lessons have been in relation to how I interact with other people. That's how I see if I've healed and grown and all of that. So being, you know, alone and feeling the weight of the responsibility of raising healthy, conscious, emotionally stable children when I did not feel very emotionally stable myself was very hard. So I'm just sending a big hug to any moms out there who are struggling tonight that may happen to see this video now or in the future, right? I mean, what is time anyway? But yeah, I'm here if you ever need to shoot me an email. I think my email's on my page. I'm not sure, but I'll put it in there if it's not. But just wanted to share that. Let's see, we're 9 minutes in. Okay, I may as well pull it. Let's end it with a little Star Dragon message. I really like this deck. Let's just see if we've got a little message coming out that goes along with this. These cards will give us not only a dragon, but a constellation and a message that goes along with the energy of that star system. So let's see what we got. Healing ain't easy, right? But we keep going. We put one foot in front of the other. Ooh, my nose itches. Ooh, we get, oh my God, it itches so bad. We get support from our spirit team. We get support from other humans who are out there sharing. I've gotten support from so many beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls here on YouTube. It's been a huge part of my journey, is finally feeling like I had like-minded people, even though I didn't really know them, but it still was comforting. So, oh, beautiful. So there's like, they don't call them major arcana because that's not what they are in this deck, but this is like, there's 6, I think, cards like this. So this one's inspiration. I'm just going to see if there's a message in the book for us. So these ones actually don't go with the constellation. Let's see what it says. Okay, there is a constellation. So it is Coma Berenices. Bernice's hair is in parentheses. And the star is the diadem, Alpha Comae Berenices. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. I do know diadem, though, is like it's like the crown. It's a crown, so that's cool. Okay, listen to the whispers on the wind and the deeper energies flowing in every situation for new ideas and creativity. They can be found all around you. Wisdom of the dragon. He's just flowing this inspiration right to her. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Listen to my call and be inspired. Draw from me for your new undertaking. I will be available to you in all points, times, and places. I am abundant energy, just ready to be plucked from the ether. When I strike, often without warning, be inspired. The Star Dragon Invocation. The General of Inspiration beckons you to heed the call of a source of abundant creativity that is larger than yourself. Draw from the well of inspiration, and you will no longer be thirsty. Now is the time for inspiration and creativity to enter your life. I was actually doing some art therapy last night. I posted a little short, but it really does help, especially if you've got an overactive mind like me and raging ADHD. So having something to do with my hands, particularly like arts and crafts type stuff, really helps. So anyway, love you guys. Bye.